Hey guys, I'm at the Woodshed Barber, and welcome to episode 5 of the SOB podcast, where we're going to be covering Klutch Barber Expo, fast feeds in 2025, the Blur Crunch Blade, upcoming giveaways, and a cutting method that you may or may not have seen before. So anyway, guys, welcome to the Son of a Barber podcast.
This is the Barber Shop, Cornerstone neighborhood.
So, we're starting to get this going. Still feeling more comfortable with it. Not live yet, but it's coming. First things first. Tomorrow is March 16th, which is the Klutch Barber Expo. Very excited about that. It's in Owensboro, Kentucky. You know, Sean cuts hair. It's his baby. I'm looking forward to going out there, meeting some people, seeing some education classes, seeing the expo floor. It's the first annual one, so I'm rooting for Sean. I think that, when it comes to barbers, man, we need to root for other barbers, and I cannot wait to go to see this, and I'm looking forward to it. I will say, it's going to be a long day, though. 9 in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, and it's just one day. So, yeah, baby, let's get it. One thing I'm going to be reviewing here soon, and you guys know that I've gone real in-depth as far as the fat blade, what my opinion is of a clipper brand saying that something extends out to a true number one, the comparison between the fat blade and the blur blade. And I finally got myself, and I almost forgot about it because, I don't know, for whatever reason, my ADHD brain just does not hold on to stuff as long as it's not novel, as long as it's not new. So I forgot about the crunch blade from Blur. Just forgot about it until one day I was like, oh yeah. So I ordered that. I've had it in for a couple weeks now. I will be dropping a review on that here soon. And if you guys have used the Blur blade and the Blur Crunch blade, drop down below. Let me know what you think about them. Both of them are not what I thought they were whenever I first bought them. One of them I like more than the other, and I'm going to definitely go in depth on that with my review. Great concepts, but I think that sometimes they don't see the full utility of what these could be used for and why that idea should be what pops in their brain before the design. Not just designing something to see, hey, well, what can we use it for? Just my thoughts. But I do enjoy them. So we got that going. I am going to be doing something here soon. I may just call it my retro series. I was feeling froggy, and so I got something that, man, I've not cut with this in probably 7 or 8 years, if not longer. And I was just like, you know what? They're cheap right now. I'm going to get one. I'm going to do a 2025 review. And that is going to be on, and by the way, it caught my eye, the whole woodworking, woodshed barber thing. A wood grain fast feed. I mean, tell me that just does not look good. How is it that their old school clipper looks better than the new replacement of it? Why is that the case? I mean, they could have gone with the grooves on the back, they could have gone with the grooves on the back. They could have kept the size close to what it should have been. They could have done so many things to make their fast feed what it should have been. I don't know, man. But this is the first time I've cut with a corded clipper in a minute. So I'm thinking about doing a retro series where I'm actually going to spend, I might just be able to just do a day, guys, for real. Like, the idea of doing a week might just be too much. But doing a day where I cut with this, and this is me going old school, with this, a corded master, corded T outliner, and my Oster Model 10. That used to be my lineup a long time ago. So, we'll see. But I'm going to be doing a 2025 review on the fast feed. And I will say, there's some things I've forgotten how much I loved. And there's some things that, guys, let me just go ahead and say this. If you're one of those dudes that's just like, man, it's just not like it used to be, go back and cut with the way it used to be. It's not all that we thought it was. The modern day is pretty damn nice. I'll leave that there. So I'm going to have that dropping here soon. Which, for those of you who do not remember this, or maybe just don't even know, the OG purple double mags from Andis, those do work on the Oster fast feed. One of the things about the fast feed is that it came with terrible guards. So, just for fun. Things I've got coming up. So I was going to let you guys know ahead of time some of the reviews that's going to be dropping here soon. Just so we can keep your eye out for them. I've got the T45 trimmer review coming out soon.
What?
This week, I've got the Phenom trimmer dropping soon.
What?
I do have the Kenny Duncan NV2.
What?
It won't really be a review because I reviewed the NV2, but I will be reviewing that blade and those guards. Just straight up, it's enough of a different clipper that I have enjoyed working with it in a different way. So take that for what it's worth. Oh, and one more thing, guys. We do have a giveaway coming up. And that is going to be, I'm going to be giving away one of the all-white, or as I like to call it, the Kilo T-Pod plays. So I'll tell you more about that in a separate video, but that is a giveaway that is coming up very soon. And I cannot wait to be able to give you guys one of the quietest, best clippers ever made. So look forward to that. So I got that, fast feed, T45 trimmer, Phenom trimmer, Blur crunch blade. I got a lot of reviews coming up. But I'm going to try to focus more on cutting, showing some different demonstrations for you guys. And so that leads me into this. I asked this question on Concise's show a couple weeks ago. And I asked, have any of you ever, for a finishing technique, a polishing technique, ever done trimmer overcomb? And I was hoping that phrase would spark something, because I do mean, yes, it's the usage of it being different than clipper overcomb. I'm not talking about removing bulk. I'm not talking about setting a taper or setting a fade. I'm talking about truly as a finishing technique, trimmer overcomb. Because there's a technique I learned from my barber instructor almost 25 years ago now that has been so useful, especially for looser, looking for more of a scissor textured type cut, but you want to have a nice smooth finish that does not look crazy, like clipper clean. It's a great technique, and what he called it and what I call it is fanning. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to walk you through it, what the concept is behind it. And I would love for you guys to comment down below. 1, have you ever done it? 2, have you ever seen it done? 3, is it something you're interested in at all? Or is it like, dude, I'm not going to touch that. I ain't doing that. Because I think sometimes in our search for new techniques, new cutting methods, whatever, we forget what's already been around. And every shop I've worked at, whenever I was a barber instructor, whenever I was managing a shop where I had 13 barbers in there, and part of my job was teaching and educating, especially whenever we'd have younger barbers come in and I'd coach them through. They'd sit behind me and shadow me for some like hands-on classes. Whenever I started doing this technique, they were like, whoa, what are you doing? What is that? And so I'd explain it to them. So I don't think it's as popular as it should be, at least in my head. This is a great technique, wonderful for finishing, especially with loose scissor cuts. For these cuts that are, let's be real, the college boy cut, the middle school and high school boy cut, that's not a super tight taper. For that looser fringe. And or your old school old men who want a classic executive contour cut. This is a great method for that. So I'm going to bring it up now. I'll be walking you through it. Let me know what you guys think. So before I fully start on this, guys, I'm going to point out the fact that he's got a little bit of a kind of a bare spot towards the bottom of his nape. You can see it right there. I handle that after the fact because I do taper him down a little bit more. But you can see right there and right there, you see these little high points. that show up in cuts that we don't fully see until we get into it. Now you can see I'm taking the comb, pressing it against the scalp, and letting it truly push that hair out at a 90 degree as I fan my guideline. And you can see it creates a super smooth surface. You can see I'm going to point out more right through there. Places that's just slightly uneven, but just the smallest correction can really take your haircut from a 9 to a 10 whenever it comes to the finishing of it. Now, I'm pulling out my clipper. You can do it with a clipper too. Comb down. You can see I'm pressing the comb against the scalp because I want to have that separation there, but you can see these little uneven spots. By doing that, you can go through and fan that right out. Now that's me doing it slower than I usually do. Here in a minute, you're going to see me go at my normal speed whenever I do this. Going back to my trimmer, kind of reestablishing the line. I'm gonna do it again, a little bit of fanning. Really softens up those loose textures. Now, this right here is one thing I do that is called sculpting, just sculpting those loose hairs. That's a little bit more traditional with trimmer over comb right there. So another thing that's useful for is, oftentimes when we cut in vertical panels, whether you're pulling it out with your fingers or even just, going clip over comb, going up in panels, panel cutting. What I think this allows to do is a nice merging of those sections by doing a horizontal cross check. And since we're cutting horizontally, I do think that adds a great amount of value and a nice little finishing technique. I mean, you don't have to start off working fast like I do. You can actually start off going slow, and you'll be amazed at the soft texture that the trimmer gives. Now, when it comes to moving trimmer over comb around the ears, super tight areas, I'll show that in the future too. But I just recorded that today because I was like, you know what, this is gonna be a good topic for tonight. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please click that like button, subscribe, share this with your barber friends. Let's get this community growing. Let's keep those comments humble and kind, and as always, I'll check you guys in the next one.